Welcome back. It's week 2, Catcher in the Rye. I'm Renee from Hogs for the Cause, and this is Becker. Today we got a lineup Becker's going to tell you about.
Yeah, so today we're doing it. It's Buffalo Trace. And we know there's a lot of people out there that think pretty harshly about Blantons, but you know what? I'm actually a fan. So we got Blanton single barrel. We got our rye today is Sazerac Rye. This is an Elios Store pick, Renee. Elios is a great liquor store here in New Orleans. Shout out to Tim over there, good friend of ours. We're also going to do the regular Buffalo Trace and the 10-year Eagle Rare. So 2 mash bill 1 products, 1 mash bill 2. I know you don't really care, but you ready to get into it?
Let's do it. Remember the rules. We're going to each try to determine the rye, and then we'll pick our favorite. We've each blinded the other one. I've got my key in my back pocket, and if Becker doesn't get any of them right, he's going to say I did it wrong again.
Yeah, you did. So just a reminder, if you haven't seen last week's video, I got 0 right. We had to shoot it twice, and I'm looking forward to getting off the goose egg this week. Let's go, baby. You know, I was drinking Eagle Rare this weekend, so you think it'll give me a leg up, but I'm sure it will not.
Now, I will have to say that I am not as familiar with these. I certainly am familiar with the Sazerac Rye, but I've never really had a barrel pick of it. Buffalo Trace is a long friend of mine, but I haven't drank it in a while.
Okay. So what I'm kind of looking for with these is because they are all kind of low proof, I'm definitely looking for that heavier spice note out of the Sazerac. Blanton's, looking for something kind of creaminess that I usually get from it. Eagle Rare, maybe a little bit more depth. And off the first rip, I've got, I'm getting that Buffalo Trace sweetness. It's definitely very soft and kind of honey and caramel on the palate. I don't really know what it is, though. No guesses for me so far. How you doing?
My C seems to be a little bit higher proof. I don't know if that's could be possible because I don't know if they're all the same proof, but it just seemed to have a little bit more on the back. Let's get on to D.
Could be that rye spice, though.
It could be. It could be. This is a lot like the Princess Bride poisoning game because we each know what the other has.
Yeah, but I don't remember what yours are.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. I mean, I can remember getting 0 last week. That sticks out in my mind.
Man, that's a tough one. All these are hard.
Yeah, they're all pretty much the same proof. So Blanton's obviously has a little bit more proof in it. I think it's going to come down to, can you find the rye? Can you get that one note that separates it? And again, we're just trying to find the rye, and we're going to name our favorite one of the 4. Oh, this one, 3 is different for me. So, kind of interesting and, I don't know, not so funny story. These bourbons are pretty difficult in a lot of areas to find. Being that Sazerac is based here in New Orleans, Buffalo Trace and Sazerac are really easy for us to get at really cheap prices. But when we were growing up and we were next door neighbors, and in high school there used to be a gym a mile down the road from us called Sheridan's. And that's where I would get yoked and swole. And
Not I.
No, but I'm sure you've been there. But that gym is now Sazerac headquarters.
Well, they knocked
Wow.
it down. I mean, it's not. They're still not pumping iron in there.
You never know. You don't know what Bill Goldring's doing in there. I mean, that guy swims laps. He's in pretty good shape. But yeah, so we used to pump iron, or at least I did, at Sazerac.
I got to be honest. I have a hunch on what's the rye, but you know, that little bit of it being a barrel proof is kind of throwing me off. But
it's not a barrel proof.
I'm sorry,
store
barrel
pick.
select or store select.
I'm a little confused myself. I'm going to take a little bit of water. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for a second. We'll revisit this video and we'll go through it again. So we're going to let these breathe a little bit. I need to score points. My wife said I can't come back to the house if I don't at least get 1 right.
We're back. Okay, we're going to go in reverse order. We both decided that this is incredibly more difficult than last week's challenge.
Yeah, they're remarkably similar. You know, once again, we're not bourbon experts here. We're just raging alcoholics that will take pretty much anything you put in front of us.
Speaking of raging, I have a raging case of shingles right now.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thanks for oversharing.
Yeah, no problem.
As now we're going to overpour. All right. So my question to you, using what you said in our last video, which one do you think goes best in a Manhattan? Are you using that same,
No.
I guess, ideology?
Because I would normally, if I have Sazerac Rye, I'd be making a Sazerac. So now I've changed my thought process to what would go best in a Sazerac cocktail. So that it's the same, but I'm not thinking Manhattan.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that we are going to move on from when we're doing non-just bourbon identification stuff, but we'll be mixing some cocktails, mixing up our versions of old fashions and Manhattans, and I think we need to get our friend Neil Bodenheimer in here to do the official Sazerac cocktail for us.
That's a great idea. We'll give him, he's got a new book out too.
He does, it's a wonderful
New Orleans drinks and how to make them. All right, I think I'm ready to go solely because I'm so confused that further tasting isn't going to shed any light on my end. All right, I'm ready to go. You don't have to go.
I'm utterly confused. Hold on.
You don't have to go, but pull out your key. It's time to see.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to call it. I just can't go 0 for 4 again. I mean, if I come on with Dick Vest wearing big. All right, you want to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. For A,
Yes, sir.
Buffalo Trace.
Incorrect.
Okay. 2, I thought it could be the Rye, but then eventually I went to the Blantons.
No, so those are inversed.
Okay.
A is the Blantons. That's the Buffalo Trace.
This I thought is the Eagle Rare, C.
Incorrect.
And D I thought was the Rye.
No, Renee.
Okay. 0 for 4.
0 for 4. I promise we can only go up. All right.
You got to at least get one right.
Here we go. Yeah, this may be the end of the series, but thanks for hanging around if you're still with us. I went for my first choice with A. I went with Blanton's.
Nope.
Okay. On my second one, I went with Eagle Rare.
Nope.
And I was battling whether or not that was the Saz or not. But I went with the Rye with my third pick.
You got it. 1 point.
Catcher
In the Rye.
Completely different than all of them.
Congratulations.
And the fourth one, I went with Buffalo Trace.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, good.
It goes Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, Sazerac, Blanton's. You do get the point. 2-1. You're not sitting on a goose egg.
Okay, so that leaves us at 2-1. If y'all have some comments about how we can do this better, there's absolutely no way we can drink them better because obviously we're quite awful at these.
That was stupid.
But it's kind of a journey for us to improve ourselves as we go on. So it's going to take us probably a couple of months before, we're big bourbon guys. I mean,
Yeah.
If this was vermouth and
first
gin,
of all,
we'd be knocking it out the park.
I don't even have a beard.
Yeah.
So, we got a lot of improvement to do. But thanks for listening and watching.
One more point. We're drinking this in post-meridian hours, and we prefer to, at least have 4 or 5 drinks in the morning just to get the day started. I think that worked against Renee, so what was your favorite pour out of all of these?
I think my favorite is going to be the Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was the Rye. I realized I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
Vastly wrong.
Extremely.
But I really like the complexity of this one.
So for me, my favorite is going to be the Blanton's, believe it or not. I love creamy ales, and Blanton's just kind of gives me that creaminess that I enjoy. I really wanted us to knock this out the park because I had like this really big like Flying Burrito Brothers theme where we could be the gilded palates of sin.
Not happening.
Not today.
No.
Not at all. But yeah, okay.
I get that creaminess you're talking about.
So creamy Blanton's, Eagle Rare, those are our 2 faves. Thanks for tuning in.
Like, comment, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next week on Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, that's the only way you can see more of us failure. More of our failure.
Cheers.